going to show you how I use Descript to be able to edit down my screen recorded tutorials, and specifically when I'm doing a screen recording with a camera overlay. So this is the homepage of Descript, and I will leave a link to Descript if you're interested in trying it out in the description below. If you wanted to just create a new project, you could just open up a new project and it would create that project here, and you can title it and everything like that. I've actually already imported in my information, so I'm going to open up this Techmatics URL redirect that is right here. And so what you can do is once you have a project open, you can see there's nothing in here. And what we can do is come up to our media library up here. And you can see that I've added 2 things in here. But if you needed to add something new, you could always just drag and drop from a file system and add it into here. So that's how you would simply just add it in. And so I have 2 things in here, and what I want to do first before I drag them in is, one, I want to make sure that I've transcribed whatever I'm going to use as my script. So if you don't know what Descript does, it allows you to edit your video like you're editing a Word document. So you can see this right here has this quotation here, which means it is transcribed. And so I can retranscribe the file if I want to. I'm not going to, and I'm on the lower tier plan, so I get 10 hours of transcription a month, which even though I produce 11 videos a week, I still don't even hit it. And then I have my screen recording here, so you can see that it's not transcribed here. And if I press these 3 buttons, I can click this transcribe file right here, and that would actually get it transcribed. I'm not going to do that because I'm not actually going to use that as my script. So now what I want to do is I can click on my screen recording, and what I can say is create multi-track sequence. And what that is going to allow me to do is it's going to allow me to sync these 2 together so that whenever I'm doing my editing, it makes sure that they always stay together. So I'm going to click create multi-track sequence, and it's going to drop this screen recording in here. And then what I can do is go to add media here. And I can just click on this and say add as new track. And so that's now added that in there. And what I can now do is sync this up. So oftentimes I kind of have to listen. So I think this probably goes all the way down there. So I can hit control and scroll in and out to move. And I think this really lines up right about here. And so I'm just going to scroll in to try and align it a little better. And then I'm going to listen to it and see if it's actually aligned. In this video, I'm going to show you how to... Looks like it's just a tiny bit off. In this video, I'm going to show you how to... In this video, I'm going to show you how... Okay. So that seems pretty good, and you'll see this screen here, you can't mess with it, and it's only showing you the screen recording. But that's perfectly fine because I'm going to show you how you can alter your screen after the fact. So what I'm going to do next is I'm going to click on screen recording, and I'm going to click on this settings here, and I'm going to remove the audio from it. So that's just my computer capturing sound, and the only reason I keep it there is to make sure that I can sync this audio together so much easier. So now when I play it, so now there's only the 1 track there. And then what I'm going to do is on this track, I'm going to come over here and I'm going to click add audio effects, do audio repair, and do studio sound. And I always set it to about 80%. I think they've made recent changes in the studio sound, and it seems to be much stronger. So if I don't set it to about 80%, it'll actually cut out some of my words. So that's what I do. And now we have that set up there, and it's still applying it, but now I can click done. This is all set up and ready to go. Now what I'm going to do is to put it into my script, I'm going to go back up to my media library. I'm going to click on my sequences, and over here I'm going to click on my screen recording sequence and insert into script. So now I have my script here for all of my things. And I have my 2 screen captures here. So you can't see it there because it didn't show up till later, but here you can actually see it coming in. So what I get to do now is, one, I always make sure that it's set up in 1920 by 1080 for YouTube. So I'm going to go to my video settings. I'm going to go to custom and make sure that that says 1920 by 1080. Sometimes my screen recordings aren't exactly 1920 by 1080, so I need to change that occasionally. And then what I'm gonna do is I'm actually gonna set up what I want my screen to look like. So I'm gonna make this guy bigger, drag it out to the edges. There we go. And then what I can do is, obviously this is in front of my face and I want my face on top of it. So I'm just gonna right click it and click move backwards. And so now I get this guy. And you always have to click off the element that you're on to click on a new element. So now what I wanna do is make this appear like a little bubble, probably like I look right now. So what I'm gonna do is I am going to go to my layout. I'm gonna right click on it and click crop. And so now I can crop this in just to like I try and make it a square. And then what I can do is this is rounded. So I'm gonna increase my rounding until it's a circle. And then I kind of move my crop to make it more of an actual circle and not like oval. And then I can just right click and exit crop mode, make myself smaller and put myself in a corner, probably make myself a little bit smaller. And now I have the basic setup for how I'm gonna do this. So now what I'm gonna do is I'm gonna delete out quiet space and I'm gonna delete out filler words. So you can see in my script over here, this is marked in blue and there are a couple others, uhs. So Descript can actually automatically remove those. So what we're gonna do is hit this star up here. I'm gonna click shorten word gaps first. And so I can change the length of my word gap. So I can go to 0.5 seconds and there's 20 results there. I usually stick to 1 second. So if it's less than a second, I don't delete it out. If it's more than a second, I usually shorten it to 0.0. I'm gonna shorten it to 0.1 just because sometimes it cuts it a little close. So I'm gonna make it 0.1 seconds and then I'm just gonna hit apply to all. Now what I can do is actually go through the individual ones and decide what I wanna do and apply, but I'm just gonna click apply to all. And it's gonna remove out all of those word gaps in there. And then what I can do is re-click my star, go to remove filler words, and this says there's 4 results in the composition. Over here it shows me the 4, so if I want to be specific to which one I'm applying this to, I can do that. And then this just means delete. So I'm just going to delete out that clip and I can replace it with a gap clip or I can ignore it. And so that means just leaving it in there. Or I can just correct the transcript, so I can remove it from my transcript but not remove it from my actual video. I'm just going to remove the actual media and apply to all, and this will optimize the edit boundaries first, so it takes it a little bit longer than just removing the clips. So you can see I just took a 4-minute video down to like a 3.5 minute video, and this is a much shorter video than what I typically do. So what you can do here as well, I'm going to move up my bar, is you can hit control and scroll with your mouse to scroll in and out, and you can hit shift to scroll left to right on this scene. You can also layer things on top. So if I come over here, like I could layer additional things on top there. I won't have any additional overlays for this. I might make another one showing you how I do some of my like more talking head videos, but this is just a tutorial video. So now what I can do, and you can see that like here, it has this little bitty clip in here. And so I'm gonna delete that out. And so now what I can do is I can either start playing it and listening to it, or I can just look at the script and figure it out. So you can see in this video, I'm gonna show you, and then I say in this video again, and then I say it again. And so this is the one I actually want to keep in. So I can actually just highlight all of them and just delete it out. So now I'm starting fresh and I haven't even like listened to it yet. So usually how I will edit is I will actually listen to it and then delete it out from there. And so I can click play. In this video, I'm going to show you how to set up URL redirects using TechMap. And now a good trick that I have, which I actually like compared to like Premiere Pro, where you had to like change the playback speed every single time you hit play. If you come over to these 3 little dots here, you can actually hit playback speed, and I actually edit all my videos in 1.5 times the playback because I don't know, to me I talk really, really slow. So I'm gonna play it. So this almost sounds like it cut off here. So I can always drag, so you can see it didn't transcribe this, so it cut it off. So now if I replay, so if I click on URL, it's easy to set up those redirects. So if I click on, yeah, so it was missing that little piece. So you can always just scroll. You can move the edges on the timeline here, or you can use the script to control actual words that got transcribed. I can also correct this transcript here. So I can come up here and I have a correct or right. I can hit correct, and right here I'm gonna say those redirects and click correct. And then I can keep going through and editing this. So you can see my face is like really in the way here of what's going on. I would rather have it down here where there's not as much going on. So what I'm gonna do is if I just move it, so if I just move it over here, that's not bad, but it's now moved in everything. So again, not bad, I might keep it like that, but if I specifically just want it moved on this page, I would create a scene. And so I can just click here and click a /, and let's say I wanted it to like here. So now what I could do is I could move this guy back up, or yeah, I can move this guy back up. And what you can see is that when I come up here, it stayed down there. And so that's a way that you can be able to like change the positions of anything. So if I delete that out, now it has it down there again. So I'm just gonna keep it down there for this whole video. So if I click on URL redirect, it's going to take me to this page. So another thing that I can do, and I'm just gonna show you, is if you wanna add in chapters. So for example, on almost all of my videos, especially tutorials, I will have the YouTube chapters below. So how I do this in Descript is I add a marker, that's M, and then I would say something like add URL redirect. And that's all I would do for now. And then whenever I finished editing, so like if I'm just looking at this, I would put like a marker here that says like preview URL redirect. And then for example, like down here, this is when I'm doing my outro here. So what I would do is I already have this scene here. And so what I'm gonna do is I'm actually going to reset the crop, take off my roundedness, so I can set this to 0, and then I'm gonna set this to 20, undo my link and set this to 1080. So now it's about the right size, and now I can put it back to the center. Yep, and so that has it back on it like I want it. And I might just click on it and just make it a tad bit bigger and pull it down. There we go. So now I have it looking like this. So if I click before, it still looks like this, but after that scene, it's gonna look like this for my outro. So now I've edited it all, and I have a couple of markers in here. So if I'm gonna get ready to export this out, I can just come up here and I'm gonna go to File, Composition, Export. And what I'll export first is my transcript. I include the composition name and I include markers. And then under time codes, I include the marker time code. And that allows me to get the specific time code for each of my chapters. So I will export that out. And then I'll just come back up here, click video, and the settings that I have on my video is the current composition. If you wanted a current selection, you can do that as well. You can do the resolution. I do mine in 1080p because that's what I'm filming in. And then I do high quality, and you can do more specific things here. I leave it to the normal, just high quality. And then I can click my export here, and that's how I would get that video. So if you want to check out how this video turned out, I will leave that video up here. And if you want to check out my YouTube income and performance, I will leave a playlist here with all of those videos on it. If this content was helpful for you, please like it and subscribe to the channel down below. I hope you enjoyed this video, and I look forward to seeing you in the next one.